2020 has brought with it lots of changes, and one of the things that we're seeing as an executive search firm that's had the opportunity to do some really significant work on chief marketing officer, chief product officer, chief digital officer type roles. As we're onboarding these people, there's a disconnect between how to understand how to do that properly versus what's always been done historically. And the reason for the shift is bigger than just COVID and the pandemic and what's going on in the world as it relates to now everyone's working virtual, right? So there's two aspects to that. The first one, and the obvious one, is people are working virtual, and so onboarding is very different now than it was when I was in the office. And the second is we're really seeing organizations, because of what's going on in the world globally, what's going on in the world relative to the economy, and how important it is to be competitive immediately, that executives are not being given the time they used to get up to speed, to build relationships within the organization. Basically, right now, if you're coming in at a C-suite level into an organization, really even a VP level as well, you're expected to hit the ground running and start adding value very quickly. So that's certainly possible if you've done the right research, if you've come in prepared, and if you've built the right relationships. So now when you flip that and you look at, you haven't yet walked into an office for this new organization, and based on the interview process being virtual, you probably haven't actually met anyone in person. And the old way of onboarding, some organizations have always done it very well, some organizations have struggled, but we need to be very careful of is that this is not just a perfunctory process. And this is not just a process where HR is encouraging other senior leaders to engage with the new person. It really needs to be more driven from senior leadership than that, and it really needs to be shown the importance within the organization that it needs for the new hire to be set up to be successful. And so that means, right, it's really important if you are at a C-suite level that you're meeting with the CEO the first day and setting out an onboarding plan, and that you have support from that level. If you're down a little bit, meaning you're at a VP level, it's really important that the CEO reaches out to you. You understand that that individual has the support coming from higher up in the organization, and that we're creating a systematic process for how they're going to engage with their key counterparts, and that introduction is being done in a way that it shows the importance of it to the organization. And so it can't come from someone that's too junior in the organization. It can't be looked at as in any way, checking a box, right? This is now a very strategic, very important thing, and we need to be seeding these executives with questions. We need to be seeding people, and I'm talking about the executives that are currently within the organization, not the new executive, right? If the new executive is not smart enough to come with their own questions, then you quite possibly didn't hire the right new executive. But ultimately, there needs to be KPIs and expectations and performance as to how it is we're bringing this new executive on, and we need to understand how to measure that after it's happened to make sure that that engagement is occurring. Because really, you're investing a ton of money in bringing that new person on, and you want to make sure that you're taking every step possible to ensure their success. And if the expectation is they hit the ground running quickly, and that should be the expectation, right? Ultimately, if you hired the right executive, they should be capable of that. Then it is incumbent upon the organization to make sure that building those relationships is not just important to the new executive, but to their peers, their coworkers, C-suite executives as well. And it's not important in every organization right now. We're seeing too many organizations where that's not happening quickly enough, while at the same time, I expect this person to hit the ground running.